Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for March 2022. We're gonna I'm not gonna choke on camera, but we're gonna jump right in here, and we are gonna see what is going on for you at this time. But Capricorn, sorry, I am gonna choke on camera, but that's all right. Let's see what is going on for you at this time. It looks pretty good. You have the Wheel of Fortune here, so definitely could be kind of like a change in your fortunes. You have the Magician as well. Everybody's been getting these like new beginning readings this week, I would say, Capricorn. So you start off with the Four of Pentacles. I just kind of feel just normal about this. Even the word normal is popping into my head. I don't really feel it's talking about any of the usual Four of Pentacles stuff, which is like holding on too tightly to something from the past, or holding on too tightly to something in general, whatever. I feel like it's just saying things are kind of like status quo at the moment, which could be pretty boring actually, but I feel like things are kind of just status quo. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the Magician, and the Hermit here. The Wheel of Fortune, I feel, is saying that there's like a lot of luck and a change in your fortunes coming in for you. It's like something you've attracted into your life here, Capricorn, especially with the Magician. So this first row is pretty powerful actually. You have three major arcana, and that's definitely jumping out at me. You have a lot of major arcana in your reading, in this reading in general, but the Magician, he's pointing down to this Temperance card right here. To me, I look at both energies as pretty similar, Magician and Temperance. Magician, he manifests things, with his words and his thoughts and what he focuses on. The Temperance is like trying to turn water into wine. It's like a card of alchemy. It's still a card of like magic, right? And he does this through like patience, but also mixing two things together. The Temperance card can represent mixing two things together. And I kind of feel like on a very simple level that this reading is saying that your magic at this time is going to come through mixing two things together. It's going to come from putting, multiple things together. And we're going to talk about that here in just a second. You have the Magician. The Magician can represent a new beginning, and he can also represent reinventing yourself. I do feel you are kind of reinventing yourself in a certain way here, especially for those of you in work or career. I feel there could be a change in the way that you work, or it's like you're becoming something different as far as work or career is concerned. For others, I feel like you're just changing in general. Probably because of this, the Hermit, I feel like you've done a lot of soul searching. I feel like you've found a lot of your own inner answers, and you've discovered a lot of things about, maybe life in general, like what you want to create in your life, how you want things to go in your life, all that other good stuff. I feel like there have been a lot of discoveries, and that's like literally the word I'm getting with the Hermit. The other thing is, you have the Hermit right here. Whenever you have like a card and then the same card as the anchor card at the top of a reading, to me, it's like the universe is zooming in on that card. So I feel like the universe has zoomed in on the Hermit because you have it twice. And the universe is providing more detail about this Hermit situation that you've been through. I do feel like some of you have felt alone. You have the Nine of Swords here. I feel like you feel like things have maybe not gone your way, or things, maybe you've been living in a nightmare, experiencing the same things over and over and over again. It's even popping into my head like that you've experienced like an energy just too much the same, too many times. And so, because Nine of Swords can be like going to bed, having a nightmare, waking up, being stuck in a nightmare. And I definitely feel that you've been feeling that for a long time, that kind of like stuck in a nightmare type of situation. You have the Two of Swords. Everybody has had the Two of Swords this week, and there have been a lot of repeating cards this week, which is pretty weird. It doesn't happen very often, although this year it keeps happening, which is weird. And what I would say here is that the Two of Swords can represent needing to go to new lands, needing to leave a comfort zone, needing to do something different in your life. And the Temperance card again, for you in particular, I feel is talking about mixing two things together. You know, temperance can mean a lot of different things. It can mean temperance, being patient. It can represent alchemy, turning one thing into another. But for you, I feel like it's about mixing two things together. Some of you, I feel like you already know what I'm talking about. So, like in work or business, it's like sometimes we might come up with a new plan or a new idea, and where it's like where two things meet is usually a good place. For others, it's like maybe you have to discover what you're mixing together. This always reminds me of like trine energy, and in astrology, people who have a lot of trines in their chart, for example, they can be lazy. They're not actually lazy. When you have a bunch of trines in your chart, you are born with skills basically, and you don't know that you're good at those things. That's what this is reminding me of. Like I feel like there are some skills that you don't know you're good at because maybe you were born with the skills, or maybe you're just a natural, right? Like if you're just a natural at doing something, like a skill, talent, gift, skill, or ability, it's just going to be easy for you. And maybe because it's not hard for you, you don't realize how special it is. And I feel that for you here, where it's like you have a job, you have a business, or you have something you want to accomplish. And I feel like you need to kind of like tap into an extra skill or an extra ability that you have. And maybe it's something that you don't think you're good at. I'm pretty sure I said this to you recently, and I'm going to say it again. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I feel like people have told you, like, hey, you're really good at this. And maybe you're just like, oh, well, like, you know, that's nothing. That's not important. But I feel like it's like much more important than you realize. So I'd be paying attention to those things that people say that you're good at, or, you know, whatever. In your last row, you have the Six of Cups. I love the Six of Cups because to me it's a green light, and I definitely feel this is a green light type of reading for you, where maybe it's not very, exciting. Although actually I feel like this is a really good reading. There's like a lot of luck here. Definitely a very positive new beginning. But for the most part, if I were to, break it down to its simplest parts, I would say that this is a green light reading where you have experienced Nine of Swords, stuck, not moving forward, nightmare type energy. Now you're being given the green light to start moving forward. You are being given the green light to start making progress towards something that you've wanted to make progress towards. You have the High Priestess, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Hierophant here. A lot of people getting the High Priestess as well, and the Hierophant, but High Priestess says the sky's the limit, or there are no limits. She has no roof over her head. She also represents trusting your intuition. So I do feel that trusting your intuition at this time would be is very important for you. You have the Ace of Pentacles, so it's like something has to be taken care of. Ace of Pentacles is just like an opportunity that you're being given. There's a garden here in the front of the Ace of Pentacles, and the garden represents something that has to be taken care of. So the Ace of Pentacles represents an opportunity that you have to put more work into, more time, effort, energy into to make sure that it is successful. So I feel that on this card as well for you here, Capricorn. And finally, you have the Hierophant. Hierophant is a card of learning. I would be, if I were you, I mean, I know I've said this a million times to you, I would be learning as much as I can if I were you, Capricorn, and I basically am, because I have a million planets in Capricorn. All I've been doing for like the past, 3 years is learning, right? So I would be making use of learning about whatever it is you do. This could be in work or business, and I'd be learning about what you do more. Same thing in love as well. It's like really doesn't matter. Anything you want. If you want health, I would learn more about health. If you want love, learn more about love, right? And the Hierophant really kind of rewards that type of education. Yeah, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want in your life. So let's see here. There you go. This is why I don't take pop-outs, people. With the Wheel of Fortune and the Nine of Swords, you have the Ten of Pentacles. So to me, if a card is meant to come out, it's going to come out. It doesn't matter what happens, but there you go. So Ten of Pentacles, everything you want in your life is coming in for you. I love it. With the Magician and the Two of Swords, you have the Three of Pentacles. I mean, come on. Seriously. Teamwork makes the dream work, Capricorn. Definitely time for you to focus on working on a team or, kind of doing something. Especially for those of you in business, I would be doing something, even if it's just like really, really small. I'd be doing something to build a team. I'd be doing something to get a person to help you be successful in business or whatever. Even if you're writing a book, it's like maybe your best friend could read it for you and correct it for you or something. That's a team, right? It doesn't matter what you're doing. I'd be looking for help in whatever it is, because clearly for you, Capricorn. The universe wants it. Number two, I feel like it's going to make you like 1,000 times more successful. With the Hermit and the Temperance card, you have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, I feel like you finally see things clearly. It's like sometimes I feel the Hermit with the Queen of Swords is just understanding why you had to, go through a dark night of the soul, or understanding why you had to go through something that was challenging or difficult. So I kind of feel that. I also feel that the Queen of Swords, the clouds only come up halfway up her body, and it's like she finally sees things clearly. And I feel what you're seeing clearly is what you need to mix together with that Temperance card, like the two things that need to come together. With the Nine of Swords and the High Priestess, you have the King of Swords. Again, more in the way of knowledge or wisdom. Again, King of Swords could also represent learning. Same with the Ten of Pentacles as well. The Ten of Pentacles can represent learning from someone who's smarter than you. King of Swords, same thing. King of Swords could be a mentor or just someone you look up to. So I feel like there's a lot of good knowledge out there for you. With the Two of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Definitely a lot of abundance coming in for you. I mean, 10 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. We'll see what this card is, but I would definitely say there's like a lot of abundance and success coming in at this time. Temperance in the Hierophant, you have the Lovers. Could be marriage, by the way. I mean, for those of you that want love, I do feel like there's love available to you, Capricorn. The thing that I always get for you, though, is I feel like it's kind of more of a surprise. Maybe not a surprise, like surprise, but I feel like would be surprised to fall in love at this time. The other thing is, I'd be open to it if I were you. It's like maybe you meet a person and you're just like, I feel like you're just surprised that you fall in love with them. It's like that type of feeling where it's like you didn't expect to, but then you do. You get what I'm saying here? I feel that type of like love coming in for you if you want it. Top row outcome, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords says be tactical. It says look for multiple ways of doing things. It's a card of fears. It can be a card of lying, cheating, stealing, but he's also stealing those swords from an army that is in the background there. So instead of going to war, he's not going directly to war with that army. He's stealing their swords. So in business and work and love, it can represent doing things in a different way. In the middle row here, you have the Chariot wanted to pop out there, and you have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups represents being spoiled for choice. You have a lot of cards wanting to pop out. So Seven of Cups is being spoiled for choice, needing to focus. Nine of Pentacles is also a card of needing to focus or needing to be focused. Whenever I have two sevens in a row, to me that says that's like internal fears that don't exist. It's basically asking you to let go of any fears that you have. Bottom row outcome, you have the Eight of Swords. Stuck feeling. I'm going to pull an extra row here for you, Capricorn. This last row, it's not bad, but it's like a stumbling block. It's like green light, and this is like I wouldn't even call this a red light. I would say it's a green light, and I feel like the universe is honking its horn behind you, trying to get you to like move forward. So what's going on here? You have the Emperor, rules and regulations. I'm not suggesting that you break the law or anything like that, but if you are kind of getting a green light to move forward, there might be certain rules or regulations that you're putting on yourself. What I would say is Neptune and Pisces. With Neptune and Pisces, my big problem with Neptune and Pisces, one of my big problems, is that we could have like certain rules that we put upon ourselves because of like how we were raised, or maybe we were raised in a certain school, or maybe we went somewhere where certain rules were put upon us. And it's like I don't really have a good example, but it's like there are some things that sometimes I think we believe like, oh, I can't cross this boundary because, it's how I was raised or whatever, but it's not like a real boundary, or it's not something that really matters. And so I would be careful of like putting rules that don't exist on yourself, or putting certain boundaries on yourself with that Emperor card. It's like maybe you were raised that money is the root of all evil, right? And you're about to make a bunch of money. That's like a red light, or that's like the universe honking its horn behind you saying, I want you to be abundant, but you're like, no, money is evil. So, it's like those are the types of rules I'm talking about, kind of those limitations that we put on ourselves. And that's how I'm seeing that Emperor. Yeah, Five of Pentacles, feeling like you're not good enough to have something as well. I feel like you need to tell yourself you are enough very clearly with that Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles is calling attention to your weaknesses. And yeah, you have the star. You deserve it. There's definitely a wish coming in for you. This is pretty simple. Green light, go. Green light, go is what I'm going to say here, Capricorn. I feel like that's what this reading is saying. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.